Oh, I'm loving it. It's a good time. As much as you love fall camp, right? Straight football. It's the best of it.
CJ, can you kind of give your impressions on Tyler Van Dyke and maybe specific examples that stand out about how he's trying to put himself in a position to have a really successful last year in college ball?
Yeah, I think the one thing I kind of figured out about Tyler really early on is that his excuse me for my language, but his give a shit like want factor is like really high. Like this dude wants to be elite and he wants to be ultimately the best quarterback in the nation, the #1 guy off the board next year, right? He wants to put himself in the best position, so he does everything that needs to align with that, whether it's learning the offense very quickly, throwing to us on weekends, Saturdays, Sundays, working hard in the weight room, leading stuff in conditioning, just being a natural leader. That's what you can really tell about him. I think I get to speak on it because I've been staying with him the last 2 weeks, but the dude really does put everything into football and like his love of the game. I think every time I walk out of the room, he's watching film or sitting there on the whiteboard in his living room. I think for those reasons specifically, he's going to be really successful this year. And then also, he has a very, very good offensive around him, a very good offensive coordinator, Coach Longo. So I think all those different factors are really going to propel him and put him in a really good position to have a good year.
How would you grade him as a roommate?
See, I'm quiet. I like to stay in my room. He likes to stay in his room. I know his girlfriend came around for a little bit as well. So he's probably about an A. We stay to ourselves, clean our stuff up. So
there you go.
Living with him, how does that help with chemistry on the field, though?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we come out, we talk about football, but I think the best thing about the chemistry between us is that we come back, and I've only been staying with them the last 2 weeks, but we come back and we don't talk a whole lot about football. Yeah, we have our times when we sit down, okay, what did you see on this play? I'll walk out of the room, knock on the door, and like, what did you see right here? But I think we just talk about life and just, different stuff. Both of us being from kind of far places away, him Connecticut, me California, we're both experiencing, and then also him from Miami and me being from California. We're both experiencing something very different. Me not for the first time, I've had a year in the system and all this stuff, but him for the first time. So just being able to talk about life stuff, I think I've gotten to know him more as a person and just how good of a person he is. And I love great people in life, and I think that kind of builds the connection between us.
The second fall camp too with this team, Bryson mentioned it and Will jumped on it as well. It's a little bit of an easier transition now that you know the system a little bit.
Yes,
you're familiar with the staff some more. What is it for you? Like how situated do you feel coming into the second fall camp?
I feel very good about my situation because even last year I think Coach Longo and all the coaches that were here prior really put me in a good position to play both inside and outside. I learned both, and so that really just put me in a position to succeed this fall camp, right? So you're in a system for the second year in a row. That's really going to help you. I've never had that in college, right? This is my first time being an assistant for the second time in a row. And just being in that situation, you're able to play more natural. You're able to, play without thinking. And that's, I think, when we're all at our best, Will, Bryson, all of us, is when we're not thinking. We're just playing football. It's kind of like when you go out there as a kid and you run power I to the left. That's how easy it is right now. And I think that's going to really, it's going to show on the field this season for sure.
Going off of that too, and excitement for tomorrow, first day of full pads. How excited are you? How excited is the room that you guys get to throw it on now?
I love scrimmaging. I love getting tackled and all that fun stuff. It'll be fun because I've been talking a lot of smack to the defense recently, so we'll see what they have to say about it. And it's probably not going to be too good for me because there's some hard hitters over there. Cheney, Hunter Wooler, those guys, Nye, they all can bring it. But it's going to be a lot of fun. I know the competitive natures and juices are going to be flowing, and that's when I think our wide receiver group is the best because obviously there's a lot of competitiveness going on within the room. So just to bring it onto the field against the defense as well now in pads is really going to show.
CJ, you're one of the few guys that you mentioned playing inside and out. You're seeing it on the practice field right now. What are some of the challenges of that and kind of learning both of those spots because I know the roles are pretty different?
Yeah, I think the best thing about it and the challenges, if there are any, would just be learning it. Obviously, you have things like into the boundary, outside the boundary when you flip the field because our outside receivers in this offense, we stay right and left. But I'm fortunate enough to play left and right, so I think that helps a little bit. But obviously, when you're in the slot, you're going back and forth. You're looking at the sign from Longo while backpedaling, coming on and off the field, flipping the field. And then also some of the run scheme stuff. Obviously, you're getting to the mix, you're blocking dudes, and you kind of got to know what the tight end's going to do. And then just the timing of things. I think I've said this in the past, is just the timing in the slot's a little bit different. But I think my background of playing in the slot at my previous school, and then just also Coach Guyton kind of leading the way for all the outside guys that are playing the slot and kind of sitting us down and laying it out pretty well to help me as well.
Potential for this room too. Everyone's excited for it. Everyone knows that. You know what you bring to this And again, talking about goal setting and everything, what are you hoping that this group achieves by the end of camp?
Yeah, for our potential, I think our potential is only as good as Will and Bryson really make us. Our two leaders, our two senior guys who are hopefully in their last year. They have very, very good years. I know Bryson is going to have a really good one, and so is Will. But our potential is only as good as them. And then also the guys that pick up right behind them and compete at a high level. I think we are very, very versatile in the way that we play. Quincy, just a natural athlete, runs very good routes. Vinny's just a burner. We got Bryson, who plays really physical. Will, who's just a natural slot. Me, who runs more routes and things like that. I think we all just play a little bit differently. And I think that's going to help us because once we get to matchups within the season, even matchups out here, it's going to help.
What is it
It's a
about?
long way off, but you got that USC game circled on your calendar already?
Yeah, definitely got the USC game. Obviously, going back home to the Coliseum, that'll be a lot of fun. I'll have probably like 30 people there, 40 people there, which will be awesome. Playing some of my old teammates, playing a lot of kids I grew up playing youth football with. It's going to be fun to see a lot of familiar faces, and hopefully put it on them and see Coach Riley's face when we put it on. That's going to be awesome. I would love that. I know Coach Critch probably would love it too.
You said Will and Bryson specifically.
Yeah.
Those feel like the big leaders. What is it about those guys that are the go-tos specifically for you?
Yeah, I think not only are they vocal guys, which I think leaders need to be vocal, but they also do it in their demeanor and the way that they walk around and portray themselves. And that's what I look for in leaders. I look for someone who's not just telling me what I need to do, but also doing what they're telling me. That's obviously what everyone wants. You don't want your boss telling you something when he's doing the opposite. And those guys are the epitome of doing what they say and following the plan that Coach Fickle has on and off the field. And then obviously they're very good football players, guys that led us last year in all statistical regions and all those different things. So we're looking at them for leadership day in and day out, and it's been good so far.
I'll go with CJ guys one more.
Oh, yeah. Behind knowing the playbook better, I guess I was wondering, coming off last year and going into this year, what were some areas that you said during the offseason, hey, this is what I want to get better at, this is where I want to improve my game?
Yes, sir. I think previously we spoke about I got bigger, stronger, faster, and I said that in the spring, and it holds true. I know Coach Guidance mentioned it to you guys a couple times before, but I put on up to 15 to 18 pounds. I know last year I got kind of light during the season. I got faster, and then also just playing more confident in my game. Obviously last year, first time in the system, we talked about that, and then also first time in the Big Ten, changes a whole lot. So being more confident, I think it's showing in my game right now, and in spring ball and also fall camp, I had a good one, good spring ball. So just being able to come out here and play more fluid and play more dominant, I think that's the best word to use for me at the moment. It's like, hey, let me go out there and dominate these fools like I used to back in the day, and just kind of remembering who I am. That's ultimately what it was for me this offseason. I think I got that, which is awesome.